Hey everyone, Brett Wallace, your Fort Bend, Texas Realtor. Wanted to talk to you for a moment today about closing day, closing week protocol, both for buyer and seller. What do I do the week of closing? Let's start with sellers, okay? I always tell my sellers, as far as utilities go, water, gas, electricity, alarm coverage, whatever, call your providers. And if you're scheduled to close, let's say on the 25th of a month, I would call my providers and say, hey, can you cancel out or terminate my service on the 26th? You know, give it one day extra in case for some crazy reason there's a delay or the day of closing ends up being the next day of closing. And you really just don't want a break of service at the property. And I always tell my buyers, go ahead and book all your services to start the day of closing. So I would have my buyers say, hey, I want my water, my gas, my electricity, my ADT alarm or Ranger American or whoever you're using for alarm to start on the 25th. Because when these companies see a change order or a notice of termination and then a notice of startup of service, the same, within 24 hours, they know it's a transfer. And of course, by all means, I practice real estate in the greater Houston area. Your state, your city, your municipality, your whatever you, wherever you're practicing real estate or living in, might do things differently. So always ask your provider, say, hey, I'm selling my home. We're scheduled to close on the 25th. Just calling to let you know I don't want to be paying for it after that day. So I always just say day after closing, sellers zero it out, buyers schedule it for the day of closing. That way there's no break. Another issue that always seems to come up, especially in the COVID times, is people ask for a professional cleaning. There's not a place for it in Texas promulgated real estate contracts, but I get a lot of agents, and I've been known to do it for my buyers when I'm asked, and they're, buyers are very insistent. The lawn needs to be cut the week and trimmed and blown the week of closing in a professional cleaning. Okay, if you're giving the seller the price and everything else is pretty cordial, the seller might be doing that anyway, to be honest. That's kind of such a small, minute thing when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, even sometimes millions of dollars in a transaction. Refer to your real estate agent. I'm of the belief, like if I was buying a car on Craigslist and a deer lease truck or something, and the guy told me, yeah, I changed the oil last week, I'd be like, hey, I want to start the ticker off under my watch with fresh oil. I'll get that oil change done myself the day after the day I buy it, or within a couple days. So traditionally, if it's just kind of for sellers and buyers both, just for y'all to realize this, when people take off picture frames off the wall and there's a little nail hole, these are things that are in between the lines of a contract, but it's courteous for a seller to, putty, put a little bit of putty and dot it with touch-up paint. Hopefully there's touch-up paint available or provided or at the house. But little things like that, when the mover moves stuff out and scuffs up some stuff, the seller should try to kind of touch up a little cosmetic stuff and make the home just as resemble as much as the home that the buyer knows they're buying and what they've seen it look like. So you want to keep that level, that standard, and kind of the average seller might just clean things up, wipe things down. But as far as like a deep clean sterilization, that's not, unless it's written in, that's not to be expected by a buyer. Again, you don't want to give the home to your buyer. They're moving 3,000 square feet of belongings. They're moving from another state. They're transferring jobs. They're trying to register little Johnny and little Sue in school. You don't want to turn the property over to them with 1.5 foot tall grass, So I think us as agents we can coach our clients better about what's normal, what's courteous, what to expect, what would be, paying it forward in essence. So unless it's asked for, don't expect a professional cleaning or professional lawn service crew. A lot of times it does happen, but I just kind of wanted to go over closing day, closing week type issues in real estate. Sellers, buyers, both bring valid state or federal, passport identification. Maybe even bring a second one if you want. Make sure that you are in contact with the title company. You do not get wiring instructions via email. They're very cautious about that. So if somebody's telling you to send money to this account number and it looks like it's from the title company, call them to verify. Usually they give it to you verbally over the phone. There's a lot of title fraud. It's a rapidly growing problem, and it's been like that for a few years. So, have your cashier's check, your wiring, your banker, like all those things lined up that week. Valid issued IDs. Everyone that's on the contract, everybody that's a party needs to be there. If you're doing mail outs or power of attorney closings, the title company and lenders need to know a good amount of time before, because that might make a difference in the way documents are prepared and the attorney docs are prepared from the title attorney that's drawing up the docs. So again, mail out, remote closing, mobile closing, power of attorney, that kind of stuff needs to be talked to the title company agents and lenders well ahead of time, like weeks before. So those are just some of the closing week things that always come up. Just wanted to kind of go over those things and give you my take on it. So hopefully it's helped, and if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, comment if you want any other topics addressed. Please send me a note. My cell phone number, my email, everything's on my website, brettwallace.com, BRETWALLACE.com. A lot of helpful resources there too. So appreciate you watching this video. Sorry it's a little jiggly. I'm on Beltway 8 in Houston, going to take a listing, and sorry for all the backdrop over here, my signage and stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week, and thanks again. Bye-bye.